Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Paranautical Activity. You've been asking for it. I've been meaning to play more Paranautical Activity, but this seems like a really good time to do so because these guys, I mentioned, like a month ago in the last episode that these guys were not actually going through Greenlight. Well, that has changed. They are going through Greenlight now. So if you do nothing else in this video, even if you don't watch the whole thing, even if you don't like, favorite, subscribe, donate to my t-shirt fund, etc., etc., go check the link in the video description to vote for these guys on Steam Greenlight. They're getting a lot of traction, and they kind of got screwed on the Greenlight process, but there's more information for that you can find out elsewhere. Just Google Paranautical Activity Greenlight butt effing. Anyway, we're going to play a little Paranautical Activity. It went through a recent update recently, which makes it a little bit more, like, there's more to show off, I guess. A little bit more user-friendly might be a good way to put it. Because, you know, unlike before, where you basically just started with whatever random gun that basically you had the RNG or RNGesus as a backup patrol assigned to you, you can now choose. So, you know, there's items like the David Bowie, which is the crossbow, Dynamite, very hilarious, haha, Code Avarice. And all of these have different traits. It's almost like characters in The Binding of Isaac, but I am going to go with the tank, which has been suggested by the guys at Code Avarice as the best weapon for a new player, which is basically what I am. Oh god, I need to turn this down a great deal. Alright, so let's get started. If you're not familiar, again, because it has been a while since I did the last episode, Paranautical Activity is a roguelike-ish first-person shooter in the same vein as stuff like, a little bit like Quake meets The Binding of Isaac or Unreal Tournament meets The Binding of Isaac, but from a single-player standpoint. So, in terms of the interface, it's pretty easy to tell here, I think, if you have ever had any experience with a game like The Binding of Isaac or, Spelunky, I guess, to a certain extent, but substantially less so. It basically is like The Binding of Isaac with guns. As much as that's kind of a reductive way to look at it, it's also a very effective way. So we're gonna shoot enemies. Enemies are gonna give us gold. We have health down at the bottom of the screen. We also have armor at the bottom of the screen. As these enemies die, when all of the enemies die anyway, the doors will open and we will gain access to the next room. Our overarching goal on every single floor is to fight the boss. Fight and beat the boss, you get an item. You can also buy items from shops. There you go. There's Paranautical Activity in a nutshell. It's a lot of fun, and I really, I don't know why I'm doing commentary here as if it's a let's look at, but I have been spending some more time with the game. I just haven't been recording it because I'm still so bad at it that I'm a little bit self-conscious. That being said, I've watched some other people who are bad at the game play it now, and now I don't feel so bad myself. But people like BizSnap, Alpaca Patrol, and Green9090 have a lot of experience in this game and have beaten it several times. Beaten it several times! The Green9090 story, oh my god, this is the first time I have seen this jellyfish boss. Luckily, his health is super low, and my health is really high. Please don't break apart like a fistula when I destroy you. Now, I've heard from several credible sources, wow, that was an easy boss, that the best course of action, what is this? It's the assault rifle. Apparently, this scales really well, but I actually don't want to pick it up because the shotgun has worked out very well for me so far. I've heard from several people that in Paranautical Activity, the best strategy that you can possibly employ is essentially just walking around in a circle, but I don't play like that. I try to get a little up close and personal with the enemies, which may or may not be my best course of action. So yeah, oh, geez, I didn't even see you there. If you are, again, unfamiliar with Paranautical Activity, the game is available already. Where is this enemy? There he is. The game is available already via the game developer's website, codeavarice.com, which I will put in the video description below. Kind of a weird little pathing glitch or something there. And also available on Desura, so you can check it out there for yourself. I believe it's available for $10 right now. But yeah, the Greenlight campaign is the major focus because of these guys get on Steam, and I really believe that the game should be on Steam. They stand to, well, basically reap financial benefits, to put it in a very cynical way, but also reach a much larger audience in a more feel-good friendly way. So, typical to Isaac, I am going to clear out the entire floor to make sure I have the maximum opportunity to pick up everything that I can. I don't know what these items do. Armor box, I believe, gives us more items. Poison bombs, probably pretty self-explanatory. What is blowfish, though? Maybe I can get enough gold to pick that up. Otherwise, I might just save up for the next shop, because I almost never use bombs. Now, this might be a terrible mistake. Maybe bombs are the missing link in my Paranautical Activity play. I doubt it, but I definitely could probably benefit from using them a little bit more effectively than I currently do. So let's just clear out these guys. The riffraff under the bridge here. I don't know if that was an It's Always Sunny attempt or an attempted reference at, like, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But anyway, like, these guys could probably benefit from some bombing. We are going to get insanely close to having enough gold to buy that blowfish. Again, I don't know what the blowfish does. If I had to guess, maybe poisonous shots? I don't know. So we have found our elevator here. This is our ticket down to the next floor. basically, I'm just going to shoot the skeleton and his spiders, oh, Jesus, from as far away as possible. We still have full health because I did, basically, if you're not familiar with armor, it essentially functions exactly the same way as Spirit Hearts in the Binding of Isaac. So I did have full health up until very recently. Luckily, the range on our shotgun is apparently good enough that I can hit this guy from across the map. Should still probably focus on taking out these spiders. You may have noticed by now that I am terrible at FPS games. I mean, if you've ever watched the stream and watched us play Counter-Strike Global Offensive and my ass gets handed to me every single time, you would know that. But let's just keep moving around here. Little spinning in a circle never hurt anybody. Again, I'm far from min-maxing the best of this game. I'm very much, you're watching a Paranautical Activity neophyte. But by way of using the tank, I actually have found it possible to go down to like the 3rd and the 4th floor and get introduced to some new enemies, many of whom are substantially stronger than me. We at least got over 350 gold, which is really good in my experience for the first floor. So I should be able to pick up the blowfish and at least see what it does. And, you know, garnering information is important. So this is Skullito's skull, I believe it's called. This gives us floating bombs. We'll go back to our shop and pick up the blowfish, and I can at least learn what it does. In terms of my favorite items, double jump is definitely up there. Hopefully we'll get one of those soon. So let's pick up the blowfish. Poison damage, all right, what can I say? A lot of the items are analogous to other items in the Binding of Isaac, so I just used my noggin a little bit, and now we have a poisonous shotgun, which, you know, seems like a fairly good option, similar to something that you might find in a Borderlands or something like that. But for now, let's just try to promote our own survival here, and hopefully we will manage to succeed. I want to see if these guys have like a graphical effect. They do have a graphical effect for poison, kind of similar to the same way that something like the Common Cold might work in Isaac. So I'm interested to see. I accidentally fired a bomb there. That's just using right click. Interested to see how this affects bosses, because I feel like that is probably going to be the more practical use, is using this to do a little bit of damage over time to some substantial bosses. I hate these butterflies, man, but a couple hits, I still got hit at the end there. Those homing shots are annoying as hell. So again, I'm going to try to amass as much gold as possible. The only thing, or not the only thing, I guess, but the major complaint I have about Paranautical Activity is that it can be a little grindy, like trying to pick up all of the gold. Whereas in something like The Binding of Isaac, the gold is relatively easy to see. In Paranautical Activity, at least maybe because I'm inexperienced. I mean, when I first started playing Isaac, I left all sorts of stuff on the ground at the end of every level, oftentimes my own carcass. Yeah, I oftentimes feel like I'm leaving a lot of gold on the ground, which unfortunately obviously has a pretty deleterious effect on you moving onwards. Or moving forwards, I should say. Now moving onwards. So far, so good. The other weapons, by the way, you know, carry various stats with them. The reason I like playing as the tank is, I feel like the shotgun is really damaging, and it's kind of a noob-friendly weapon, if I'm going to phrase it in, you know, true gamer speak. Only true gamers know what I'm talking about when I say the N-word. Well, not that N-word, anyway. There's also, like, a meat hook, essentially, which works kind of like a boomerang. I believe that does a lot of damage, kind of like a mom's knife, but you start with less health. So, again, it is like the characters in The Binding of Isaac. Let's see what we have in our item room here. Looks like we have the grenade launcher, shield lover, and the horseshoe. Horseshoe, if I had to guess, would be luck up. Shield lover, probably something like the relic, basically giving us more shield drops or more armor drops. That's okay, though. Let's go fight our boss first. It is going to be these guys, who I don't really like. But hopefully we can see the poison damage over time, maybe doing a little bit of extra work. These guys are basically like the fistula from Binding of Isaac. And I apologize for putting everything in Binding of Isaac terms, but I don't think the guys at Code Avarice are going to be too pissed about that, because obviously they've you know, cited Isaac as a direct inspiration for Paranautical Activity. I think that's pretty clear as well when you play the game. It's not a copy or anything like that. It's more of a reimagining by a different genre. Kind of like the difference between Terraria and Minecraft, but I would say even more pronounced. So this is our double jump ability. I don't want to leave the floor yet. I also don't want to close my eyes because I'd miss you, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing. I apologize for that reference. You know, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing was actually the first song I ever slow danced to. It was me and my best friend Mike at the time. Kind of awkward 6th grade for me. Anyway, let's shoot some butterflies to get over the anxiety that I have about just revealing the stories of my childhood. Picking the wrong line of work if I don't want to accidentally reveal embarrassing stories, I guess, though. So far, I'd say we're pretty powerful. You know, we have a lot of health. And the game, I definitely feel, from the first update, or the first version that I played and covered on the channel, has become easier. And this is a good thing, because I wouldn't necessarily say the old version was inaccessible, but it was substantially more difficult, and it made it difficult for me to see anything past the first few floors. I think, like, the number of times that I actually got past the first couple of floors could probably have been counted on maybe even one finger. I was going to say one hand, but that would be overly generous, I feel. So we're going to kill the thing from the thing here. Or should I say the thing similar to, but not in a litigious, copyright infringing way to the thing from the thing. Speaking of which, if you're watching this and you haven't seen the thing, go pause the video, obtain it through various legal means, and return to me. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, actually. And there's our assault rifle again, but I don't want it. I know there's going to be Paranautical Activity pros out there that are going to be like, why aren't you taking this weapon? It scales well into the late game. I've run the graphs here, etc., etc., but I don't feel that way. I prefer my shotgun. Now, I am very low-ish on health. Now I feel like I'm a lot less comfortable. But hopefully we can pick up some hearts as time goes on here. I do have enough gold to go to the shop. I want to buy the horseshoe, but at this point, it's possible that the shield lover, if it does what I expect it to do, and that is a big if, might be more beneficial for me. You never know. So let's just try to focus on taking as little damage as possible, because I have not been playing well over, recent form anyway. Oh, that's another substantial amount of damage that I shot a bomb by accident that I can't really afford to take. We are down to 2 health, which could realistically put us at the end of the run here. But let's go over to the left. We'll go to the gift shop right away, and I think it is in our best interest to buy Shield Lover, even if it only gives us like a short-term armor drop, like it immediately drops 3 shields or something. Then that benefits me. There was a heart that I left. I would love it if they just glowed a little bit more, or if they automatically like sucked all of the drops into you. But anyway, that's neither here nor there right now. Let's go back and buy our Shield Lover. It's only 200. Horseshoe's 250. Yeah, more shield drops. That's good. So I guess I kind of approximate that to being like the miter. In fact, the relic is different because I guess it drops them on a regular interval. Whoa! On a regular interval as opposed to just increasing the chance. But maybe this drops them on a regular interval as well. I have no idea. You tell me, commenters. I know this is a game that a lot of you are familiar with, mostly because we've given it out, well, maybe not mostly because, that sounds a little offensive, but largely because, for many of you at least, we've given out so many copies on the Northernlion Live Super Show over the past few weeks. Anyway, guys at Code Avarice obviously have been very generous in their support. Is this a sponsored video? This is an inside joke between Omrecker and myself. Anyway, not important. Let us go over here to the boss room, the way down. And we'll be able to go to the 3rd floor for the first time in a long time. There actually is a heart on the floor over here that I didn't even notice. So, this might be the first time I've ever gone to the 2nd floor in a Paranautical Activity that I've posted. I mean, this is only the 3rd Paranautical Activity video I've posted in any case, regardless. So let's see if we can't get something amazing happening here. I would be we've got these asshole dogs. They're not really dogs, but I call them dogs because they're dirty dogs. They explode if they get too close to us, which is obviously very damaging to our well-being as well as my anxiety. So, are there, and there was like 2, 3, 4 gold up here. Okay, so they do kind of, like, the gold does kind of suck into you a little bit if you get close, but you have to get close. Okay, this is the first level I've ever encountered with lava, and that scares the shit out of me. Because I've heard that this is a major defining characteristic of what makes the mid to late game of Paranautical Activity such a pain in the ass, in a constructive way, in a good way, of course. But there is an item you can buy called the flip-flops, which makes lava surmountable, I suppose you could say. Maybe we'll be able to pick that up in our gift shop. We do have 150 gold. Might give us a chance to pick it up. We'll see, though. I see a rocket launcher. Yes. Scissors, which gives us incredible speed. And the spring, which gives us a much higher jump, which, to be quite honest with you, I know the scissors are amazing, but I'm going to buy the spring because combined with our double jump, this is going to put us in a position where we can dodge shots more effectively, and I might not have gotten to 350 gold anyway, so we might as well press our advantages right off the bat here, if at all possible. Now let's try not to drop down into these corridors where these guys are going to be able to kill me super easily. There is an armor drop for us, there's an audio cue there, otherwise I might have missed it. There we go, like that. Okay, I botched that pretty miserably. There's more gold coins, though. Maybe we would have been able to get to 350. Scissors is like a speed and damage increase, I think. It's definitely a speed increase. Or it's definitely a damage increase? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it in the shop. In terms of item variety, it's a little less than nice. But keep in mind, this game is, currently in development as we speak. Literally as we speak. It's possible the guys at CA are working on it. So, not CAA, the Canadian Auto Insurance. You guys have AAA in the United States. We have CAA. I don't know. There you go. In case that comes up in trivia sometime on the stream, you now have your answer. and you tell him I told you. So we will fight. This is like an optional boss room. It's almost like a boss trap room. I've never fought the Bumblebee Spider, I think. So I'm just going to do what I try to do and run around in a circle when I encounter an enemy I don't know, because I'm not confident enough to take him out any other way. And why don't we take out the riffraff on this room first, just to make my chances of survival probably that much greater. If I had to guess, it looks like this dude does some poison damage. So hopefully he drops something that is not merely a weapon switch for me. I would love to have, it looks like an armor or a bomb box. Let's see, it's a bomb box, so that gives us more bombs. We have 25 now, which is more than I feel that I need, because I barely use them. But we will look for our... I didn't realize that we hadn't been into this room, actually. Bombs are annoying, but we did get a chain reaction there. It's almost like fighting the bomb flies in Isaac. Oh. Keep moving. I haven't played Twitch shooters in a long time, with this as the notable exception, so it's hard for me to get it into my brain that basically anytime you stop moving for even an instant is probably going to result in you taking some damage. There's an enemy left. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Fantastic. We will pick up all of our hearts and then move onwards through here. We've got to be finding our boss room at some point. It reminds me of being further into the Binding of Isaac. I can't believe I didn't take damage there. And, like, just being disappointed that I can't find the boss room. Run. And you can't just run in one direction either. You got to dodge side to side. Otherwise, you're going to end up having happen to you exactly what happened to me right there. So this is where we entered the floor. Obviously, not necessarily great things awaiting us here. It's all right, though. Hopefully, we manage to at least live to the boss fight. It seems like I'm better against bosses than I am on rooms with a lot of enemies, but some of the bosses do have a lot of enemies, so that's kind of a cop-out for me to say. It's looking like we might have indeed been able to get to the 350 gold necessary to buy scissors if I had not purchased the high jump instead. Oh, that dog got very close to me. Again, prepare for me to use colloquial names for these guys, as I do in basically every game that I play. So one dog should not be that bad. I can't believe that we have still not found our boss room. We did pick up basically the equivalent of a spirit heart there. That's good. We destroyed him by getting close enough to destroy him in one hit. Okay. I feel like poison damage is kind of terrible, but the fact that it was so expensive in the shop leads me to believe that assuming balance has been done properly, I just don't know what I'm talking about. So we are up to 229 gold. From a shop perspective, it still might be possible, actually, for us to get the scissors and see what those do. But there is our boss room. So we only have 2 rooms remaining, basically, to get 100 and some odd gold. But we're going to get an item from beating the boss regardless, assuming we do beat the boss, which, you know, I kind of just have to dream big at this point, considering I don't think I've ever fought the boss on the 3rd floor. There's some more gold for us. Got to pick up every single coin, catch them all. That is the last one. Did we leave any gold on the ground? I don't think so. 269. Can't make it up. Okay, no, you know what? I actually have fought this man. He will drop the trident. Now, the way that the trident actually works is that I believe you throw it and then you have to pick it up afterwards. So it's like a really powerful weapon, but you can also accidentally leave it behind and then completely fuck yourself over. But I'm going to try to use it because I think it would be in my best interest, especially if it does allow us to do more damage. What do we get for gold here? We're 297, not quite going to be enough. So let's just practice with the trident here. We'll pick it up, throw it over here, and then we got to go pick it up. All right, so we'll try this out. We're going to go down to the 4th floor, which I think is the furthest I've ever been. It's the furthest I've ever been while still holding a weapon. This may indeed have been a terrible idea, but we'll see as time goes on. This is the way to the gift shop. We have money, so we might as well go through it. Now, just do not drop the trident in the lava. This seems like an obvious distinction to make. I am getting just gang-fucked by the thug of porn over here. The trident is over there. I mean, even if it... Oh, no, we fell into the lava. That is going to do it for this run, apparently. It was pretty good while it lasted, though. We can restart here if we so choose. But as always, thanks for watching Northernlion Plays Paranautical Activity. Again, I appreciate any support on the video, of course, but all support should be directed to the green light link that you will see in the video description below. Help the game come out on Steam. It's close. You can follow the guys on Twitter to find out how close, but rest assured that your support is not just going to be a drop in the bucket in this situation. It can actually make all the difference. So as always, thanks for watching. Go support the game on Greenlight, and I will see you next time.